And we're back with the next tutorial where we'll do a different kind of nesting that involves two different kind of families. So the last exercise, we put doors with doors. We took door panels from several different families and combined them into one family to give them flexibility so we could swap out panel types. This time we're going to bring in a window family so we can have the option of having the combination of two families in one. Except this time it's going to be two different types of families. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do a bit of cleanup to this file. Because we have all those different kind of panel types, we don't need the parameters anymore that describe the panel types because those live into the panel family files that we loaded into this family. So all those parameters like style width that don't align with anything, we can go ahead and get rid of. So let's just clean this file up just a bit, and we'll leave the parameters that describe the frame, and we'll just go ahead and get rid of the style and rail parameters, and all of these reference planes and dimensions are actually more confusing than helpful. And now we'll just be left with the overall height and the trim width to describe the frame of the door. So now we're ready to bring in that transom. So let's go on over to Insert, Load Family, and we're going to scroll down to Windows, and I'm going to tap T and it'll take me right down to Transom with Trim, and we're going to load that. Open. And we're going to go ahead and place this family, and we're going to get it from the project browser. We'll scroll past our doors onto Window, Transom with Trim, and we'll go ahead and select the 36 by 24 version. Create instance. And we're going to use the align command. Yes, we can go ahead and save the project. And we're just going to align this with the center reference for the door. And then vertically we'll align the base of the transom trim with the top of the door frame. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bit of discrepancy with the size here, so we'll go ahead and measure, and we get 2 3/4, and just to be sure, let's go ahead and measure on the opposite side. Of course, because we align with the center, it should be the same, but we'll just check. And again, we have 2 3/4. So we're going to get into the properties of that transom. So select it, and we're going to go on down to Edit Type. And as you can see, that's the trim width exterior, and we're going to change that dimension to 2 3/4, and I like to use decimals, so 2.75. Okay, now as you can see, we still have an issue here with the alignment, and I'm guessing it has to do with the width of the door that we used. As you can see, we had swapped out for the 30 by 84, so we'll just switch this to the 36 by 84 type. And now we have another discrepancy, but in the opposite direction, so let's go ahead and measure that to see what that is. Again, we'll check both sides. It should be 1 inch, of course, just to make sure nothing shifted, everything stayed aligned. Because of course, typically when you do that alignment command, you can go ahead and lock it, so you know that if it moves with the reference plane. So it's still that 1 inch. So we need to remove 1 inch from that dimension, or excuse me, add 1 inch to that dimension. So we're going to go ahead and do 3 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And there you have it. Everything is properly aligned. Now we just need to make sure that this item will tab separately when we bring it into our project file. So in order to do that, we actually need to open up the Transom file separately. So select the Transom and let's go to Edit Family. And in its properties, under Other, we're going to select Shared. This way, once we tag it, after we've placed it in the project file, it will tag separately. So let's load it into the project, single wood panel. Yes, we want to overwrite the existing version. So now that we have the transom loaded in, aligned, and marked shared, let's see how it behaves once we place it into our project later on in the lesson. Up next, we'll discuss exactly what that shared parameter is doing and how to create one of our own.